Welcome to Skyrocketing Your Lead Generation Online, your masterclass series on how to fill your sales pipeline with a consistent stream of high-paying clients. Your straight-up resource for actionable advice and mindset that will take you one step closer to generating consistent leads online into your business. I'm your host, Anjana Lal, and today we have Penny Elliot. Penny lives and breathes sales. From selling grapes on the side of the road in her family business at the tender age of 7 to leading teams of 45 sales reps throughout the UK during her corporate career, all the way through to now running her multi-six-figure online business. She cuts through the shiny objects to show her clients how to attract leads, build relationships, and consistent revenue. Penny is the author of a book titled Get Momentum, Your Ultimate Guide to Create 100K in 100 Days without fear, overwhelm, and burnout. She's been featured in over 30 publications worldwide, and she's an amazing athlete with some 18 Ironmans and over 40 marathons under her belt, which is amazing because I've never actually even done one.
Yeah.
She's a wife, a new mum, and a powerful businesswoman. I could seriously go on and on about Penny. So welcome, Penny. I'm so honored to have you today.
Hi everyone watching as well. It's an honor to be here.
So today we're going to be talking about how to banish that little girl voice and accelerate your sales. But before we get into that conversation, tell us a little bit about your story, how your journey started and how you ended up doing what you're doing today.
Okay, so how long have you got? But I used to work in corporate, as you said in my introduction. And how I got into this is I started several online businesses. One was paleo cereal, and everyone at the time was like, paleo, that's just a fad. You know, it's like the most Googleable diet now in the world. And we sold out as soon as we made a batch and couldn't really keep up with production. And we didn't know how to scale it, really. And so it just died a bit of a death. I started it with my best friend, and we both just got busy doing other things, and so stopped doing that. Then I had a couple of other businesses in the sports world in between times. And then I found an online coach who I really admired. She caught my attention, kept catching my attention, and I thought, right, finally I'm going to put my hand up and I'm going to dive into this world. And I really thought that I was going to work with athletes and their branding and or other wellness providers and look at their branding and marketing. But it became really, really quickly evident to me that women really needed help with sales. And sales is in my blood. My mum is the best salesperson on the planet. My 3 stepbrothers are all car dealers, and one of them's moved into selling watches, very similar with the sleaze factor, I guess. And so very much in our family. And I used to be in sales before I moved into the online world. And what I found was so incredibly different and just lit a fire in me was the fact that men in a transaction will just say, I used to sell big installations in the technology world, and men would just say, it's $10,000 and you're going to get this, 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 and this. How do you want to split the bill? Do you want to split it, or do you want me to send it straight to accounts? Do you need sign off? Who do I need to talk to in accounts? And it was like really emotionless, like transaction, because everyone knew that they were getting the greater good of the product. When I moved into the online space, and especially dealing with a lot of women, I was shocked to hear what I call the little girl voice. And that was they're super excited about their products and services. And then it comes to the pitch time and they're like, so it's about so it's like $1,000. I know that sounds like so much. So should we make it 500? And like you can pay me over a year, and I'll throw in an extra call, and I'll give you all of my courses, and I'll send you my cat so that you can have a cuddle with that too. Would that be all right?
Yeah, feeling really icky about it and just not aligned.
Yeah, and so I was so shocked to see this side, and then it was really definitely something that I needed to address and help women to create a business that actually made the money and wasn't just a hobby, right?
Yeah, definitely. So as an entrepreneur and change maker yourself, how has your journey unfolded over the years where you've had to push past your own little girl voice to get to the next level, or to get to each next level in your business?
So for me personally, I didn't think I had a little girl voice. I was like, oh, that doesn't exist. Like, that's why I think it shocked me so much.
Yeah.
But when I had Josh, that little girl voice definitely did come out again. If you're listening and you have children, you'll totally relate. But it was like I had this bubble, I guess. Everyone's talking about bubbles at the moment. So I had this bubble of like mumhood where I just read all the books, and all I did was like worry about how, like, is he feeding enough? Is he burped enough? Is he freaking sleeping enough? Like, nappies, like all my friends, everyone I spoke to, even if they didn't have kids, was like, how's the baby? How's the sleep? How's the baby? How's the sleep? How are you? It was baby, 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 baby. And whilst I kept my business running during that time, I didn't really go out and do much networking or sales. It was mainly referral and just keeping it ticking over for the first 6 months, while I got my feet of being a new mum. And then when I actually had to step back out into that like sales world and like go to some networking events, and actually start doing lives again, and talking, using the speak and talking to people as a human adult with a brain outside of a baby mum, I really found like that inner self-worth creeping out, or lack of, and a little girl voice definitely coming out. So that was the one major time that I went, I get it.
Yeah.
I get why this comes out. And it doesn't mean it has to come out when you're having a baby, but it is more the change in circumstances caused me to start to feel that little girl voice, and like, well, I can't really charge them that much because, like, I'm actually pretty much a full-time mom, and and all of this doubt and fear came up in me, and it was like, this is crazy. It shouldn't be like this. And I really had to give myself my own lessons and pull out of that. Did that answer your question?
Oh, totally. I mean, it's something that a lot of mums, I mean, I'm a mum as well, and it's something that I dealt with as well. And throughout my 20 years of corporate marketing management experience that I had, never ever once crept in, But then becoming a mum, it's almost like you lose a lot of yourself as well when you become a mum. And I think it's really important to have a coach and to have a mentor to be able to go to help you get out of, just to help you see those blind spots and what's holding you back. So, which leads me to the next question, which is like, can you give me an example of, how you have been able to banish that little girl voice when you see it even coming up with your clients? What advice or coaching do you give your clients to help them move past and just that keeps them stuck to continue moving forward? Because you see it, they may not even see it, but then, how do you, how does that shift happen?
Yeah, so you're right. Most people can't see it. Most people think it's an external thing, like, oh, I didn't have enough leads, or oh, they were the wrong person, they didn't have any money, they had to go and ask their husband. If you're getting all of those answers, then it's in here. You're losing the tone and the vibration and the pitch during the pitch part, because everyone could say to you, I don't have the money. Right? But if I came to you and I said, hey, I've got the coronavirus vaccination, and it's $300 for everyone in your family in your bubble, you would damn well find that money like that. Yeah. Right? So it's never, ever, ever a money issue. It's always whether they trust you enough to move their finances around to give you the money for the transformation you are promising. Yeah,
definitely. And especially like, as you mentioned at the moment, excuse me, with the coronavirus, what are you noticing at the moment, given the current situation? Like, what's coming up for a lot of business owners when it comes to generating those consistent leads and signing on new clients? Are they holding back? Are they more nervous than usual?
No, I don't think that at all. all of the girls in the Get Momentum Mastermind, which is my signature program, they are all crushing it. One girl had an aim of 250 people into her new membership, and she smashed it with 1,000. So money is still in the world, it's just moving hands. Now, I think if I had a client that was in the travel industry, that probably wouldn't be going so well.
Yeah.
So money is just moving hands, right? But what I do strongly recommend for everyone watching is that you look at your messaging. And I want to share an example that's mine, not my clients, but mine. So today, last night we launched some new ads. And the first set of ads we were running to a sales page, the copy paste tweak sales swipe file suite, and they were running to that, and they were like my old copy, right? The copy that was always going to the page, and what had once converted quite well suddenly crept up to $9 per sales page view per click, right? So $9 for a landing page view. And yesterday we spent 4 hours, my Facebook specialist and I, changing the copy and really thinking about what it is people want now in this new world that's evolving, which is completely different to what they wanted 3 or 4 weeks ago, right? 3 or 4 weeks ago, people wanted to be able to go and buy, in my world, the latest Louis Vuitton bag, go to Italy on holiday, you know, down here in New Zealand, they probably want to go out to the Viaduct for some fancy dinner, you know, or like fly to Sydney for a weekend or something like that. Well, I'm sorry, but all of that is gone, right? That is not what people's destinations and needs are. What they want to do is be able to see their mum or their dad and not worry about the health factor. They want to be able to send their kids to school, let's be honest, like get them out of the house, someone else look after them. They want to be able to know that they've got enough money to get past, you know, the sort of like 12-week threshold of government subsidies. They want to know, like, am I ever going to be able to go to Bali again? You know, like they want to know, like our primary needs have completely changed.
Totally.
So your messaging has to completely reflect that. You know, I said to someone the other day, you can just, a new client was coming on board, and I said, I will send you, I'll send you a link, and then you can put it on your credit card, because then you can get air points that way. Right. And that's what I've always said. And people love it, because like once they finish coaching with me, they kind of have a free holiday. And I was like, that's a bit of a joke, isn't it? Like, who needs air points anymore? Well, you know, for at least a year or so. And if you're outside of New Zealand, which I'm sure a lot of you are, but inside New Zealand, we are like never going to leave this country for another 3 years until the vaccine's out. And like, she's laughing, but it's so true. So it's not about, you know, it's going to be maybe about buying a new car, because you're going to do a lot more travel in your own country. But it's not about finding more air points or flying first class. So all those people that paid to have all their photos taken in a private jet or in first class have zero relatability to their clients now, right? So when we changed the messaging yesterday, we spent 4 hours changing it. We changed some of the graphics. We made it really topical for right now. So these ads will be effective for hopefully 3 or 4 weeks here in New Zealand, but around the world maybe a bit longer. And they've gone from $9 a landing page view to overnight to 80 cents.
Wow.
Right? So if I spend $500 on Facebook ads in a week, that $9 versus 80 cents, you can see just how many more leads I'm going to generate, or how many more eyeballs I'm going to get on that sales page for my $500 a week.
Yeah, totally. And it just goes to show it's super important to stay relevant, right, to what's happening online, what's happening in the news, what's happening, you know, like just within the industry itself as well, like to really make sure that your messaging really hits home and is super on point, which is what you've done. So,
and the only way you can do that is to get on the phone and get into Facebook groups and get into probably those two, and really look at it, like really observe with a marketer's hat on. Like you might take you might make some funny glasses, you know, and put them on and be like, right, I've now got my marketing eyes on. What are people saying? What are people asking? So another client today, and she was talking about her clients are faith-based younger women, and she said a lot of them aren't wanting to go back to work. They're actually enjoying lockdown because like they've got no kids, right? They're just cruising at home, reading books and watching TV, and sounds brilliant. And in their flat with like 3 other mates and having like parties and stuff like that. Like, it sounds bliss, like really. Take me to that lockdown. And they're like, they don't really want to go back to work because like they're not really in the job that they enjoy. So I want to support them in that process.
Yeah.
And I said to her, and she was like, I said, are you sure that they don't want to go back yet?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? Because that's what she's feeling.
Right.
That doesn't mean that 500 others are in her Facebook group. She said, oh, I'll just put a poll up. I said, do you think that it's wise to answer a poll saying, yeah, I don't want to go back to work, when employers are looking at, you know, I've got 35 staff, I really only need 25 and I might only need 5, and you see one of your staff members on a poll say, yeah, I don't want to go back to work, they're going to be the first ones to get the axe.
Oh, totally true.
So you really have to think this process through at the moment and think about how am I going to get the most honest answer? Because there's nothing better than reading copy or hearing a live or listening to something like this if the person is saying exactly what you're thinking. Right? You think, oh my God. And if you can get those words and those terms and those thoughts and those wants, needs, desires, and transformations onto your sales page, you're golden.
Yeah, because that's what's going to convert, right? I mean, as you know, as a saying goes, there are so many ways to skin a cat, but when it comes to take you know, that combining, like I saw on your website, you say, you know, the woo with the do. What is your perfect mix of mindset and strategy to see those results in sales, as well as being able to, you know, live your best life? Because that's why you're in business, right?
So the perfect mixture. That's a good question.
Yeah. What does that look like?
I think that really depends on where you're at. Now that's a bit of a shit answer because that was a good question. But I think that if you are sitting at home going, no one's going to buy my stuff. No one's going to buy my stuff. Like, I really don't want to, or you have not even opened this one because you thought, sales, I don't want to look at this, right? Then you definitely need to work on your mindset.
Yeah.
100%. And you should just do nothing but that all day long until you can get up in the morning and go, yes, I'm going to sell something today and it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to talk to 35 people today, right? And feel good about it. Now, you're going to have varying degrees of that every day. But what I also don't recommend is that you sit on your meditation mat and woo yourself some clients, right? Yeah. You need to do enough mindset to get you to the point where you think, oh, I can't wait to do that. Oh my God, like, oh my God, I've got to write this down. I've got to write this down. I've got to write this down, and then go and action it, right? Yeah. Because that's how you get the inspired action. So matching that woo with the do is very important, that you spend time being quiet and listening to what it is you think that needs to come out, and then go away and accelerate that activity. If you just, you know, probably I would say 98% of people come to me for strategy because I'm pretty straight up, and probably 95% of people leave saying the mindset work was the bit that I needed.
Yeah, definitely. And I think especially now when it comes to selling high ticket and going for those high paying clients, you know, there may be a lot of resistance out there from even the badass business owner, you know, because they're feeling nervous or they're feeling unsure or uncertain. So I think that is really...
Okay. So I just want to interject because I want to just make this like a real easy example for you and everyone watching. If you, like, everyone's dated someone, right? Even if you've had your head in the sand, you still would have dated someone. When you date someone and they make you feel nervous, what do? Like, pull back.
Yeah, you don't pursue it.
You're like, not sure. What do you do when someone is like really open, honest, and like super cool, and like you just fully trust them?
Yeah, you want to explore, you want to, that's what I'm getting, you kind of want to ask more questions. You feel more open, you feel like there's more space to move around and it's not just so rigid, and you can have that conversation freely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
true.
exactly what you want to do, right?
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
want to be the dickhead that you've dated that
Yeah,
thought he was too cool for school and was like, well, I tell you that on date 3,
yeah.
gotta sleep with you before I tell you that one,
Mhm.
and drop those crazy drop. And you're like, what? Or do you want to be the like slightly dorky, kind of quirky, but really real person that you've dated that was like so much fun? You stayed out and you're like, oh my God, look at the time. What is this? Oh my God, really? Oh my God, I have to get the last train home.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
want to be that person. And if you're that
totally.
person, it doesn't matter if you're charging $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $25,000,
Mhm.
they will give it to you freely because they believe in you. You are relatable and you are trustworthy.
Yeah,
So at the moment, people's trust has been shattered, right? Absolutely shattered in every level. They trusted that they would get up in the morning and go to work.
hmm,
16 million people have lost their jobs in America and going.
yeah,
They've lost trust that they can go to work.
yeah.
They used to get up and be able to get in their car and drive down the road and buy a coffee.
Mhm.
That is gone. That the trust and certainty is gone.
Yeah,
They used to trust the fact that school would look after their children, or daycare, or ECEs, whatever.
yeah.
That's gone, right?
Mm.
Their trust and certainty has been abolished. And even at a greater level, like, we trust the government that they're doing the right thing, but that all this stuff is floating around, like, do we stay in lockdown longer? Yes, no, what? I don't know. So like the uncertainty is there. So if you can come through as that radiant leader and beacon of light,
Yeah,
like all of the people on this summit and all of the people that you've pulled together can do, and you can do it too,
yeah.
then you build that trustworthy pillar. And
Hmm.
then you just need to deliver on what you say you can. And it doesn't matter what you charge,
Yeah.
because people will trust you and they will go with you.
I completely agree with you, I mean, and even pushing past imposter syndrome, because let's face it, as entrepreneurs, even we've had it many, many times in our business where we think, who am I to step forward? Who am I to take, go to the next level or to stretch yourself because it's uncomfortable? How do you speak into that when that comes up with your clients?
Yeah, so that's like pretty much the little girl voice coming out.
Yeah,
And a lot of the time people are like, oh, fake it till you make it. But people buy people,
exactly.
right? And so if you smell bullshit, your gut will tell you, and you'll have to go and talk to your mum, your dad, your husband, your budgie, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and find the money some other way, right? And then they ghost you, then they disappear.
Yeah.
So, but how do you believe in yourself and banish that imposter syndrome? And you know what? It sounds really boring, but it's to
Mm-hmm.
practice,
Yeah.
right? So get someone else on a call just like this and say, right, this is what my ideal client is. Can you please be that? I'll be your ideal client. Set the timer and do 30-minute phone call.
Yeah.
Practice with each other, right? Practice, 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 practice. That helps hugely. And I want you to record that practice
Yeah.
and listen back, not just for the words that you're using, but for your tone and pitch. Remember, because you talk so passionately about your product or service. And then when it gets to the pitch, people go,
Yeah.
right? And you can see me move down, but you can also
Mhm.
hear it.
Oh, you
Okay. And
can.
that's so important.
Yeah.
The other one to get over imposter syndrome is when I used to manage a team of 45 sales reps, we had what was called a visor card.
Hmm.
So, the sun visors in cars that you
Yeah.
pull down. And on the sun visor, we would have like the latest specials or what they wanted to talk about. And then 5 things that they were awesome at, right?
Yeah.
And they had to fill them out. And so what I suggest you do is a visor card. And I get my clients to do this. And it is screen grabs of comments that people have put on Facebook groups or in your programs, or sent you an email, or done an Instagram story. Like, you could take a screenshot of this, put it on Instagram stories, and then say why you loved it so much, and then we share it. And then you can take a screen grab of that and you say, wow, these guys shared it, right?
Yeah.
It's however you get that feedback. Screen grab, screen grab, screen grab. Like I've like 185, I think we just put up screen grabs of testimonials, but not like the typical testimonial, but like this is a client win, this is a win, this is a win, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And if you have those all around your computer, or all around your office, and also all the other accolades and cool stuff that you've done and that you've achieved, it's pretty hard to then look at all that around your Zoom call and think, I'm shit.
Totally. Oh yeah.
Who am I to charge $5,000 for coaching?
Yeah, that's such a great suggestion, you know, like that. I really love that suggestion of yours, because often it's like, you know, affirmation. When you see it in front of you and it's you keep repeating it, you eventually believe it. But it's also just being and having something visual makes such a difference as well, because it's right there in front of you. It's not just in your head. So that's a great suggestion. I think that's going to really help our listeners as well, if they are feeling the uncertainty at the moment.
Yeah. And then I think the other thing is believe that the transformation happens at the transaction.
Yeah.
And so if you give away everything for free, you're going to get free pools, which are just freebie hunting people, right? And they don't really want to do the work. They just want to collect more shit up, right? They're kind of like hoarders online.
Yeah.
If you go to pay for the gym, for example, so we're both in New Zealand, so we have Les Mills as our major brand, and it is around the world. If you pay to join Les Mills, you pay, I don't know, like 40, 50 bucks a month, something like $100 a month. If you pay to join the cheaper one, it's even like $20 a month or something. I don't know. I don't go to gyms, but it's low, right? It goes out of your bank and you're like, I should really go to the gym. And then it's you go like twice, and then it takes a whole nother month before it comes out. And you're like, I should go to the gym, right? If you have a personal trainer, you break like traffic records to get there, or speed limits to get there on time, because you have paid like $150 for that session, and there's no way in hell you're not going, because you never get the money back. And you're going to show up, you're going to be in your gym gear ready to go, you have going to been to the toilet, you have going to be like eating healthily for at least 2 days beforehand, because you knew you had to see your PT, and you are going to lift weights and get on that cardio machine and do a whole lot more than you would have if you just went on your own.
That's so true, because people that invest at the highest level, it's proven that they're more committed, right? And they're more likely to see those results and actually see those shifts in their business, because they're fully committed in making that happen.
Yeah. I often say to my clients, there's nothing better than having your back up against the wall to find a way out.
Yeah. Yeah. So if there's something that you can suggest to our listeners on how they can tweak and pivot, perhaps something in their current systems for them to start seeing quick wins, what would that be? Like, what would that be, if there's something on the top of your head?
Like to tweak and pivot right now, definitely look, I mean, if you've got ads running, I mean, for the example that I just used, you could easily be washing money completely down the drain. So I would look, even if your ad has been running for a long, long time, watch it to see if it creeps. And if it does, you can just turn it off and put up like a COVID ad, right? Never use that word though, because Facebook won't let it happen. Then I would, to understand what your clients' new needs are now, I do quite a bit of snooping around where your clients hang out in Facebook groups. I'd offer lots and lots of service to the point where you think you're giving everything away, because it will come back to you.
Yeah.
Because during this time, this is when the new leaders are going to be born, and you need to be in a place of uber service right now when everyone's needs are really low.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more, which is the reason why I put this event together as well, to just be of service to our listeners and just have everyone contribute collectively to really get that momentum going. So Penny, you have a free gift to share with our audience today. Can you tell us a little bit about your generous gift?
Yeah, so it's called Get Booked. 3 proven ways to get booked without spending a cent, and it's perfect timing for right now. It is all about how you can create relationships online, be in service, and then at the back end, how to convert those into paying and loving clients.
Yeah, Awesome. I love it. And the link for the free gift is listed below. So click on the link and it will take you directly to the page where you can download it. Penny, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners before we close?
Usually I just say practice, 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 because you know, you were not put on this planet to be a salesperson. We are unique. But you were put on this planet to have the impact that whatever service, product, or idea that you have. And unfortunately, without sales, you don't have a business. You just have like a fancy website and a lovely Instagram account. So you do need to be good at sales. And so the more you practice it, it's just like brushing your teeth, right? My little toddler, he still sucks his toothbrush and it's doing nothing for his teeth. And every morning and night we go in there, morning and night, morning and night. And now it's got to the point where if I forget, he's like, right? And he's starting to learn how to brush them and understanding that you don't just suck the toothbrush. Sales is exactly the same thing.
Right.
To be awesome at sales, you need to treat it like brushing your teeth. Morning and night, 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 until you can brush your teeth with your eyes closed. That's what you need to be with your products and services.
Totally. So would that be your piece of advice that you'd leave someone with here today, or everyone with today, as an actionable step? Would that just be just a practice, just continue practicing and be consistent in that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like find those people that you can just practice on, practice on, practice on. Same as driving a car, right? Anything that you're really, really good at that you can do with your eyes closed, what have you had to do to get to that?
Yeah, true.
Practice, right? Practice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how everyone becomes a master at everything. And no one can sell your stuff like you can, because no one understands it to the core like you do.
Yeah.
So you have to nail it first and for a long time before you can outsource it. So I definitely say practice. And in this this kind of new world, it is so important that you do not think you don't need to do it, because even when the doors open up and everyone can come out again, people are still going to buy stuff online, right? Like I did a 5-day video series on it. People's and they were talking about it this morning on the news. You know, people are going to realize they don't have to sit in a car for an hour to get to work.
Totally.
Like, don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, productivity has not gone down since people have been working from home.
Yeah.
So that means you have even more opportunities to get in front of people online.
Yeah.
So that means you've got a greater audience. That means you can have more leads. That means you can create bigger clients. That means you can make more money. That means you can get more practice, more practice under your belt as a coach or a consultant. That means you can charge higher prices because you're getting better results, and it just momentum spirals. So it starts with practice.
For sure. And that's where the future is. It's online. So Penny, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your wisdom and experience and insights. And to those of you tuning in, be sure to come back tomorrow for the next masterclass on skyrocketing your lead generation online. Take care and talk to you soon.